All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and Shalom Tada Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. This is Brother Shamar coming with another lesson. And in this lesson, I want to go into the bill that recently just passed, but it's going on to the Senate the other day, I believe. And this is about, within the bill, it mentions Israel and the U.S. military kind of like working together, how they try to word it. But we already know, according to the scriptures, that America is always going to have Israel's back. Yet this just further proves what's written in the scriptures are true. All right. Now I want to play this clip and then, get some precepts. And I got some articles and stuff too, or article and some info from the chat as well. But I'm gonna play this clip real quick first. Let me see.
That I was right about this, but it's officially fucking over. Just a few hours ago, the United States House of Representatives voted to pass the 2027 National Defense Authorization Act, including Section 219, which was the whole part that said the United States and the Israeli militaries will merge. It's done. The only thing left now is it has to go to the Senate. I would be extremely shocked if it did not pass the Senate. It will likely pass there, which means it's official. The total vote count was 219 to 206. Only one Republican voted against it, to nobody's surprise. That's Thomas Massie. We talked about his tweets yesterday. 5 Democrats voted in favor of it. I will give some credit to Democrats here. I thought that number was going to be a lot higher. Now, don't get it twisted. Everyone who voted in favor for this has literally just committed treason, and I'm not exaggerating. So these 5 Democrats and all the other Republicans that voted to approve this are all domestic terrorists and should be tried for treason. Listed above my head here are the 5 Democrats who voted in favor for it. We got Don Davis out of North Carolina, Jared Golden out of Maine, Adam Gray out of California, Vicente Gonzalez out of Texas, and Marie Gluesenkamp Perez out of Washington. Utterly despicable. Last thing I want to touch on here is how fucking suppressed this whole thing is online right now. Because again, the fascist oligarchs control everything. If you Google this right now, which I just did 5 minutes ago, there is one article that comes up today under the news tab, and it's from something called Legis One. I have no disrespect to them, but I've never heard of that in my fucking life. Everything else is at least a day old. They are actively not updating the news. They are suppressing it. If you go to Google News right now, you will not find shit about this. It is fucking insane, dude. I will continue to be a hopeful person. I will not give in to nihilism. But holy fuck, today's a tough day, bro. I mean, genuinely, it's a tough day if you're a sentient human being. The United States of Israel shit isn't a joke anymore. Like, it hasn't been a joke for a while because of so many things that are going on. But they literally just rubber stamped it, approved it in front of our faces. This is the first time it's been so brazenly out in the open.
Which we already knew that they was always going to be together anyway, because it's written in the scriptures, as I was saying. The matter of fact, I'll grab it real quick when it mentions the least of the flock. So I'll draw them out. And we've been seeing, like the dude said it, like you've been seeing it from the things that have been going on. The rest of the people in the world, they've been seeing it. Yet the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai are the ones who's been out there bringing out this word into the scriptures, knowing of the things prior to them taking place. We already seen this coming a mile away. And we've been talking about it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai way before it even blown up as big as it is now, as far as the whole situation that's going on with Iran. All right. Ain't nobody else involved but America and Israel. And that's crazy. Like, we've been saying this and nobody's really connecting the dots, so to speak. And now that other people are seeing this in Babylon, they bugging out like this Edomite. Like, you knew about it, but now that it's really hitting home, so to speak, seeing how they just keep on going further and further as far as like 10 toes down how they finna ride for Israel, you know? Meanwhile, like he was saying, you don't have this isn't being mentioned on the news. This isn't being talked about. What is everybody else focused on? All right, the World Cup just wrapped up and everything. Now they're on to watching sports, turning up, and just following BS. But nobody's talking about like he said, this being passed because as many people that be sitting here saying free Palestine, this and that, if they knew of this, wouldn't they have another big so-called rally or march or protest and try to be at the White House and everything else? Yet they're not even talking about this. And this is how the devil moves. While everybody else is distracted with other stuff going on in the world, he's passing uh, different legislation and bills up through the system while you sitting here looking the other way. And like I said, I'm gonna get the other article a little bit and then the stuff I was looking up on chat as well. But I want to just hit the scripture real quick. It's in Jeremiah 49. What the hell? Shit bugging. All right, there we go. This is Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. And who's the least of the flock talking about? Those small hats. All right. And you seeing that take place, how as you've been seeing the things go on and transpire this whole year pretty much. All right. And what's happening still right now. Here it is. They already been going to bat for them. You shot off missiles over there to Iran first before they a preemptive strike, so to speak, because you felt like they was going to do something. You've been the only one back in Israel. All right. And now they're passing legislation further, uh, bringing it closer together with their two militaries and everything else, which we already knew that this was going on. Nonetheless, they're actually trying to pass legal legislation for these things, man. All right, like the dude was mentioning in the video. It's this is how these American Edomites are looking at it. They're calling it treason because you would think that it's America first, but really it's Israel first, and there's videos out there of that where streamers out there or whoever dudes that make those little goofy clips or whatever. But one of them, I seen it. It was like a person that went up to somebody that was either in the military or the Navy, some shit like that, and he asked the guy, "Is it? Do you agree with the saying that it's America first or Israel first?" And then the dude couldn't answer it. Why? Because it is Israel first. All right, America is just a lapdog. You go do whatever they tell you to do, and you've been seeing that. Everybody who was going hard riding for Trump, you're seeing that he's not really about America first. All right, he's doing whatever the hell these small hats tell his ass to do. All right. Now the dude was mentioning section 219, and like I said, I was asking in the chat about it. It mentioned it wrong at first, but it changed it. It said it was at first 224 that mentioned it, the section, but they changed it over to 219. It says the section 219 of the bill pretty much it mentions the United States and Israel Defense Technology Cooperation Initiative. And then it says, in plain English, Section 219 directs the Department of Defense to create a more formal long-term framework for working with Israel on advanced defense technologies. The initiative includes areas such as artificial intelligence, missile and air defense, counter drone systems, cybersecurity, quantum computing, autonomous systems, joint research and development, integrating certain Israeli developed technologies into U.S. defense programs where appropriate, and vice versa. It says one more significant parts of the proposal is that it would designate a DoD executive agent to coordinate and accelerate this cooperation across the Pentagon. And it says critics argue that it goes much further than past cooperation by embedding Israeli defense technology into U.S. weapons programs and making the relationship more permanent. And supporters argue that it strengthens a close ally, speeds innovation, and helps both countries respond to common security threats. And why are they in the common security threat? Because they have the same common enemies. All right, they're the only ones that really do have any threats. Really, you don't see the NATO, any of the NATO countries and shit in trouble, having any smoke with anybody. No, it's just America and Israel. All right, and who starts it off first all the time? Israel, and then who comes back them up? America. All right. Now this isn't just no coincidence that they joined together, and is making those ties much more closer, so to speak, like I mentioned. All right. And like I said, this bill is being passed while or going up through the system. You know, now it's next to the Senate, like the Edomite dude was saying in the video clip. More than likely, it's going to pass. All right. But this isn't really being made, hitting headlines, isn't on front page news, so to speak, which it should be. All right. Now, this is Isaiah 10:1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And that's right. That's pretty much what they doing. All right. Writing unrighteous decrees, passing anything that they want to pass. Why? Because they have the power to do so. They're not sitting here worried about, fuck, really, first and foremost, fuck everyone else in America. But I'm just speaking in a general sense, right? They're not worried about the American people. All right. What's best for America or what's best for, them. Nah, they're focused on the small hats doing whatever they tell them to do. And every single president that's been in office, you never seen things get any better. And this is the worst that it's ever been with any president that has been in office. Like I said, it gets worse anyway. Yet, this is the worst that it has ever been because we're at the end, All right, barely any work out there for Egypt. People living paycheck to paycheck, barely scrambling by. All right, shit's bad out here, man. And then when I first typed it in, when I first typed it in for what was it about, it says, under this part where it says the major provisions, it says the defense spending authorizes roughly 1.15 trillion for defense-related programs on one of the largest defense authorization bills in U.S. history. The largest in U.S. history. And why is that? That's a lot. I'm trying to grab a preset. But yeah, why is that though? All right. This is the most in U.S. history that's been spent on invested into military. And is it a coincidence that they changed the DOD into the Department of War? Let's not forget about that as well, right? Matter of fact, I could look it up real quick. So yeah, so 2025, it was authorized a secondary title, Department of War, in September, towards the end of the year. So right before this year started. All right, and what is that a coincidence that right when they was changing it over to that's around all the same time all the conflict with Iran and Israel and America started to build up and escalate into what it is now. All right, and now you have them uh, investing trillions. Like I said, this is the most in U.S. history that they're putting into it, investing. All right, and why is that? It's no coincidence, man. Because we're literally at the end, man. All right. Now this is Joel. Where's that? Yeah, 3 and 10. I started at 9. It says, "Proclaim." Joel 3 and 9. "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles: Prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up." And this is what you see going on, man. All the nations are preparing for war. You see America preparing for war. You've been seeing Russia making moves with China and and all these other, the people part of the what's the areas called BRICS. All right, is this just a coincidence? All this been going on? No, it's not. Everybody's making moves. This is a game of chess. They already understand that it's gonna come a time where they gotta go to war and fight against Babylon the Great and Israel, which you see going on now. Things heating up. Yet everybody's preparing for war, man, including America. Like it said right here in the bill, uh, 1.15 trillion, one of the largest defense authorization bills in U.S. history. Now, why are they doing this at all times to make a move or to build up a military? You would think you would just do it incrementally over time, but why so much all at once? You know, because we're in a time of war. All right, World War III specifically. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about." And that's right, man. All right. And that's why you see everything building up over there in that area specifically, man. All right, because that's the valley of judgment, where everything's gonna, pop off at. And you see the tensions building up. Everybody, it says to beat your plowshares into swords. All right. And turn your pruning hooks into spears. They're not investing into agriculture. They're not worried about the economy. They're not worried about making America great again. No, they're worried about going to war. They're worried about establishing their new world order. All right. Why do you think he changed it? Like I had looked it up. He changed the name from DOD to the Department of War. And now, after everything that we've been seeing escalate with America being brought into conflict thanks to Israel, now they're passing this bill up the system that says they want to have their military be more cooperative, a lot more working together. They don't want to verbatim say merging, yet that's really what it is. Because if you're having joint military exercises, sharing all this different stuff back and forth, y'all on the same fucking team. And if you're, y'all on one team. You ain't gonna just let somebody else go out there and get fucked up and then not go to their aid and help, as you done seen with what's been going on with Israel and Iran and America, man. All right. Nonetheless, this is the times that we living in where we're at the end where these things are taking place, man. All right. World War III is happening, and things are just happening a lot more quickly. All right. In fact, I'm gonna end it on this, but it comes out often because hey, it hits, This is Habakkuk, the second chapter. I'm gonna start at 2 and 3. Habakkuk 2 and 3, just get to the point. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And that's exactly what you see going on now, man. The things that's written in the scriptures are not tarrying. World War III is written to come to pass. All right, least of the flock, drawing out America into war. All right. It was tarrying. We've been speaking about this happening. Russia coming against America, the Bishahate, the whore, all the different things written in the scriptures, all right, that we've been speaking on happening. We're seeing those things take place, man. They're not tarrying no more, all right? They are happening, they're speaking, and they're coming to pass. Why? Because we're living in the last days, and we're living in the times where we're at the end, man. This is why this devil was so gun-ho and trying to rush to press his to push his agenda so hard. He's running out of fucking time. And we're seeing the prophecy speak, man. Everything that's been written in the scriptures, man, we're seeing it literally play out and happen. And these people in America are bugging out, like in this the clip right here, man. The dude's bugging out. Esau literally losing it, man. I can't.
Military data, our planning, our supply chains are now all literally merged. None of this is an exaggeration. The IDF and the United States military are now merged. Which means so are the countries by connection. Well, I hate that.
You see, Esau losing it, man. And everybody's caught up in fucking bread and circus and Babylon. Meanwhile, you got prophecy fucking speaking, man. And that's why the apostles be saying, you miss a day, you miss a lot. How much more so people that's not even fucking paying attention at all, That's why the scripture says it's going to come as a thief in the night. When shit pops off and hits the fan, these people don't have a fucking clue what's going on. A lot of things are happening, man. This is why we have to be upon our watch, as it says from the first verse, Paying attention to what's going on, man. Things is happening. Prophecies are speaking. And these are times that we living in, okay? Hey, so with that, I'm going to give all praise and glory again to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to all the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.